Thank you so much, Dr. Mahesh, for that rather effusive introduction, and greetings everyone in friends in zones 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am delighted to be with you here today to talk with you about our public image. By definition, that means the way we appear to other people. When non-Rotarians hear the word Rotary, to see our Rotary brand, what does that mean to them? Who are we? What do we do? And why should they care? I was fortunate to visit a small part of your region around Delhi in 2012 as part of the National Immunisation Day team trip with Past Director Brad Howard. During that visit, we also toured many other community projects, and I was so very impressed with how well branded everything was and how visible the service you were doing in your communities is. There were extremely huge, colourful banners everywhere we went. And in addition, there were wonderful permanent plaques on doorways to hospitals and community centres. You have a wonderful reputation, the Rotary world over, for the incredible service that you give. And I think I loved Dr. Mahesh's opening words about service is our brand. Soon after that, when I visited you, Rotary decided to rebrand. Some of you will remember that time. There were so many different iterations of our logo at the time that were confusing the public, and we lacked consistent identity. We have come a long way, I think, since then, in truly enhancing the clarity and simplicity of our logo. But as Director Kamal so wisely said, a brand is so much more than a logo. It is a promise. And as President-elect Shekhar said in his opening session, every single one of us is a brand ambassador. We refer to our Rotary wheel as our mark of excellence. It evokes feelings of pride and purpose to us. But the question really is, what does it mean to those who are not yet a Rotarian? Did you like the phraseology? Not yet a Rotarian. Have you ever stopped to ask them? On Thursday, Director-elect Venki suggested we should all wear our Rotary pins with pride at all times, with a few possible exceptions maybe. But what is the answer? What is your answer if someone asks, what is that? What is Rotary? Is your immediate response to talk about your club and where you meet and what you eat? I have honestly heard a response like that so many times. Not surprisingly, the person asking loses interest quickly and a huge opportunity is missed. I like to say, it is the best decision I ever made, and wait a few seconds. A response like that gets attention and begs the person asking to question why. That is exactly what we need to be focusing on when it comes to promoting our brand. Why? Many of you may have heard of the American business guru, Simon Sinek. And if you haven't heard of him, I thoroughly recommend you look up his TED Talk or read his book, Start with Why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Rotary President nominee Jennifer Jones just spoke to us about the importance of storytelling and being proactive in sharing press releases in advance of service projects that you are doing to solicit media interest. At the heart of those stories, we need to share why we do what we do, the impact we are having on those we serve. I was very fortunate to serve on Rotary Strategic Planning Committee at the time we were drafting our new vision statement and action plan, which were rolled out respectively at the last 2 international assemblies. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. My favorite part of that triad is at the end, in ourselves. Rotary has been such a gift to me and my children. I have grown so much personally in living in service to others, and it gives me such a strong sense of purpose. I don't think we sell our leadership development opportunities nearly enough. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our brand was associated with that to attract younger professionals who want to build their leadership skills? It takes a lot more muscle to lead leaders than to lead followers. And you will find that there are so many opportunities coming your way to do just that. I'm sure you've been doing it for years already, many of you. Rotary truly has been the gift that keeps giving. I am sure that would be true for all of you too, or you would have not stepped up to volunteer in these very important leadership roles in your districts. I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your own why and take every opportunity to share that with others. Instead of thinking about membership as a numbers game, think instead, who have you given this gift to? So we may all know that Rotary is the gift, but let's get back to our public image. What is our value proposition, and are we delivering on it? What more can we do to enhance this and attract others to join us, work with us, and trust us with their money? As part of our new Rotary Action Plan, we identified 4 key priorities: to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. Everything we do in Rotary should be moving in the direction of these 4 strategic priorities. So let's take a moment and consider how public image can take a part in helping us move towards these goals. Let's look at increasing impact first. So much of Rotary is more fragmented than, so much of the work we do in Rotary is more fragmented than I think it needs to be. I don't know if this is true in your region, but traditionally in Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland, we have many people who are Rotary members of clubs, members of Rotary clubs, who have never actually been outside of their Rotary club or even looked beyond those walls. I think now we're in a situation, thanks to COVID-19 in some ways, where finally the doors are open, just like President Holger's logo said. And I think the chance to collaborate is so important. The more we collaborate across our clubs, across our districts, and ignore these boundaries, and of course between countries, then the more impact we can have. It also is a chance for us to look at what partnerships can we build with others doing good in our communities. I've always been rather envious of the fact that in India, you have a corporate social responsibility for companies to give 10% of their money to doing good in their communities. Wouldn't it be wonderful if that 10% that companies give could be leveraged and multiplied by matching that with our own foundation? But do those corporations focus on the work we do, or do they see us as rather privileged people meeting in rather nice clubs and eating elaborate meals, which may leave the impression that we don't need their money? It all comes down to the media image that we present. Think, when you're taking another picture of a meal time, maybe just stop and think whether you should post that publicly as opposed to just share it with your friends. It may be getting in our way to attracting more money to do more good in the world. Secondly, expand our reach. Public image can play a critical role here through social media especially. Again, are the right images being shared? We just experienced, when we experienced the handover, actually we didn't just experience it, that was 6 months ago, but I've lost complete track of time. I don't know anyone else. But when we had our handover here in Rotary Great Britain and Ireland, I was actually cringing, if I'm honest, about how many pictures on social media were about these heavy weighted chains around people's necks being handed over to the next leader. We can own a pride in being a leader, but it creates a sense of mystery and strange behaviors that the public might not be able to relate to. Instead, why are we not doing more to promote the work we're doing? I also believe that there is a disproportionate emphasis for district governors to be talking to their own clubs. Yes, we need to do that. And yes, we need to make sure we're inspiring all of the Rotarians that we work with. However, Rotarians are way too good at talking to ourselves. Do we do enough to find speaking opportunities to non-Rotary audiences to help enhance our public image? We need to embrace this new digital hybrid platform to better utilize our time and make sure we leave time to speak outside of Rotary too. Enhancing participant engagement. There are always two angles to a brand, as referenced earlier. External image and internal pride, that sense of belonging. Wearing branded goods are a great way to showcase that pride in public when out in our communities doing the service projects, or at any other time, come to that. And then finally, increasing our ability to adapt. This COVID-19 pandemic is serving as a huge catalyst for accelerated change. The high caliber of this virtual institute and leadership training that Dr. Mahesh and his great team are huge evidence of that, as indeed has been our response on the ground to this terrible pandemic, the way in which we are now working to pivot all the infrastructure developed on our very successful polio initiative to help fight this deathly disease. Public image has a huge role to play in making sure that it is fully understood by the general public. But in order to keep increasing our ability to adapt, we must also keep innovating to keep pace with rapid changes in our world. And as Director Kamal said in the opening session so wisely, to innovate, we must be continuous learners and keep learning, keep sharpening our saw. In conclusion, the better our public image, the more we will attract others to work with us, or better still, to join us. And that enhances our opportunity to increase donations to our Rotary Foundation and do more service projects in the world to achieve greater impact. It is a very cyclical, mutually beneficial relationship. We must endeavor to work together better, not in our silos. Public image needs to work with foundation team, needs to work with membership team, needs to work with the service coordinators. It's when we all come together, that synergy really takes off. We are one Rotary and we are better together. A key part of your job is not only to be people of action, but to inspire others to do the same. Be brand ambassadors in every possible way to help us grow Rotary. And you will then be the true game changers and shaker and movers that your leaders are calling you to be. In the wise words of Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I wish you all the best in your journey towards being leaders of your districts. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you today. Thank you.